So basically, uh, I gotta hold on here. I'm not pressing buttons. I swear. Okay, that was close. All right. So, uh, yeah, I'm gonna say this anonymously because actually, you know what? No, let me just because if I can skip like actually having to be president in office and I can just sell the offices off or whatever. Well, they're gonna have to figure it out. I'm still angry, so it means that somebody hasn't. Well, probably also they could look into the state of Michigan's uh, how they obtain that credit. Right, because they did that before the pandemic, so I knew they were trying to like demonstrate something and then hide under another technology because that's what snake people do, dude. It's literally why just you fucking every time you just as soon as you see those things, you just fucking curb stomp that thing. Every time you don't even let that thing even float around or anything, you just break it. All right. Anyways, fairy type. No, I was not doing because that's what I'm saying. Like, so at a certain point in time, when that one label for the womanizer was like created or whatever. Again, I'm not because some of the things like yeah, you need to like be like alerted about and like able to uh deduce and stuff or whatever. I'm not doing that stuff, but I do understand their entire like I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to be like training them, and they're all pissed off because I'm not doing push-ups with them. And I'm not gonna lie, they're pissing me off too. So uh, silence is sort of also a stance, and if it's used as a different belief system carrier because you don't want to hold the book in your actual hands because you're scared. Oh gosh, I might get smited. I might get smited. Ah, oh no. Ah. I know, it's fucking hilarious. That's why they put these phones in their hands too, and I'm just like, because I'm pretty sure the only difference is confidence and the sustain of all the confidence. And if a bunch of people were just like, oh, well, we're gonna make these people like work at like Kroger's for the rest of their lives and like all this other stuff because we don't want to answer the greater question of, oh, we actually like stalled out and yes, you did. Don't fucking lie. Everybody knows that America's stalled out for sure because they don't want to do anything bigger with anything that they literally serve like the fundamental point in global perception as like able to affect change because the greater mountain of words that have been cemented within a very small amount of time perceptually proportional to the rest of societies that are out there that are, I guess, even paying attention to how long they've existed. Because some people I don't even think like really care, other than to hopefully attract people to go there or something like that. I understand the whole fucking split like deviation system and everything. Uh, because they're mad that I'm like smarter than politicians, but politicians are like all snooty wooties, and I'm not even gonna lie, like it's just I don't want to even like entertain any of them outside of you know some of them are gonna get locked up after this. That's why he cleared prisons. He was just like fuck it. If they won't get out of the jobs, prison, prison for them. Entertain them while you sick them or whatever. I don't fucking know what they were trying to tell them before the COVID thing, but hold on, let me come back upstairs a little bit. You know, I know dream people are probably like, oh, throwing up, ick, or whatever. I don't fucking know what because you guys were hiding the Russia stuff. Yes, you were, you little liars. Anyways, uh, the uh, the thing that they're using as their like fine line navigation tool is that like protective stance, and if it's around people that other people have made lots of lore stories about, no, not war stories, like lore stories, uh, because you guys call people names, and like as I've learned, some of those names can be today like understood as a slur, and you guys kind of like put people in positions economically where they either have to accept like that people are making investments around that or not, when in fact you could just kind of like educate the whole people and then remove the economic benefit part from any contribution to any of that type of lore, uh, was like, just sustaining some lore about a people that you don't have to interact with or don't want to interact with on like normal basis. I don't even care, uh, other than like I don't want you to be bullied and shit like that. Like, to be honest, it pisses me off because I'm just like, fuck, dude. They've just been sniffing people's data instead of telling them and educating them about like the things that could be done, but they don't want to piss off some prince over there, or they don't want to piss off some emperor or somewhere. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, like, why not just like prove to them that you're like smart and capable, and do it outside of some of their technological controls, and they'll be a little bit more uh, impressed, I guess. But uh, like, why stoop to the old levels of protection when you could think bigger and more forward in the modern times of what protection could mean in a time where, I'm not gonna lie, like, I I've been alive for you know more than three decades, and there has not been like really one like serial killer type of like, well, maybe there has been, but I'm not going to trust at this moment that there has been like any real big profile like serial killer type of thing. And so if I was to deduce any information, that is obviously like there's no good information from that, uh, because that should be how it is, that there is no serial killers and things like that, other than the ones that are being like, you know, you know what I mean? Like, there's no like military man in the woods, in like 10 different forests within the United States, like, successfully succeeding in any of that stuff that we know of. So I'm not, I don't know everything at all times. That's why I was hoping the technology stuff would eventually be a little bit more understood, instead of, I know I saw people like how they treated some of the tech people. I'm like, dude, you guys are mean. Like, and I'm talking like flashing your keys to a valet uh, worker, like, mean kind of thing. But going back to my point, they're using that fine threshold for navigation, and I'm pretty sure at some point in time, uh, some sort of communication, whether it was an agreement and then like just building from that point on, that point in time was used. Uh, I'm pretty sure this is where, because they'll just do this stuff in the background and say it's like a credit thing, and like most people just accept it because they like legitimately stopped caring about literally information after they turned. Usually it's like 18 or 19 if you're like in a pretty good area or whatever, but some people literally stop like learning after like, I don't know, like pretty young, I would imagine, like elementary school or so. So because like people have dreams to just like literally go out there and play a video game they think is working, or it's not working, and I'm not gonna lie, like it's just it it was a short term 2,000 year solution, I would imagine. But anyways, going back to uh, critiquing history and, pissing off people that didn't want to hear. I don't want to hear your opinion. Whatever fucking bullshit. Uh, I don't give a fuck, dude. If you have a mute button, if you don't have a mute button, then I think you lost your remote or something. But fairy type uh, was abused in some sort of communications investment globally. I'm not going to say where, but I know for sure that it was 1000% abused at some point in time within the last 6 years. And so while I'm having fun taking over literally every industry that you can think of that is doing any sort of good within the world, you can be certain that the reason I'm sharing that information is not because, I need you to go make a law or something like that. No, like either the people that are exchanging money currently for salaries and other times and whatnot. I know there's another. Oh, there's the fucking lawn fight. Whatever. You guys are pissing me off because you guys. It doesn't even matter if you feel like your payment is like low or whatever. Like legitimately, some of us are doing this shit for free, or like basically the most insulting rates of exchange possible that aren't just holding some freaking token or something like that. Or I'm sorry, that maybe that's why they were buying the freaking token thing. Because if you buy into a technology that's like in the middle of like the discussions of, is it fostering like a specific type of communication, like they would target for gang related stuff, or are they trying to like control a whole like conversation like they would for political stuff and whatnot. But some people, and this is where I'm not gonna lie, I think there's like an exchange thing going on with oligarchs and stockholders that have lots and lots of stocks, uh, where they're exchanging places in not time currently, because you can watch that stuff with transaction data, but they're doing it through their dealings and like where they could be projected to have to go, which is basically at that splitting point where I'm telling you that if going back to the fairy thing and whatnot, if I find out there's certain investments that are oriented in stalling people's expressive or just literally sustained personalities, and it's not even like ridiculous or anything like that, you're just perceiving it as a problem through your own belief system of, again, that most of you guys read as you're like staring at your hands about waist level, about probably it's usually like your projected ego distance or whatever. But regardless, it's called ground reading because most of your beliefs are literally that old, and so they become part of the ground. I hope you understand that part. Like that. That's why only Jesus Christ is eternal, and everything else that we do is literally that important in perspective of reality in the present time, and not some pseudo science time that you're trying to build your investments around because you're arguing over semantical stuff that could be solved just by accepting the fact that some of us knew what we were talking about so long ago that everybody is essentially just moving to that stupid spiritual buy my time type of thing instead of the greater picture thing that I was trying to upgrade the foundation from, instead of, again, falling down the ladder, falling down the stairs. Like, how many times does he have to go through time and give you a better genre or a set of like information to like work towards or work with or whatever the heck you guys use your art and your